Hi everyone, this is B. Donald Harris here at the Notable and Black in Tech podcast.
Major Phillips here again, ready for a new episode.
And Randall Phillips here, ready to get this rocking and rolling.
All right, guys.
So
Go
how
ahead,
you
Major.
guys
I'm gonna
been
let you go.
doing? Yeah, man, I'm just, you know me, I'm just trying to see how you guys were doing last week. I enjoyed talking to you guys. This is my favorite time of the day. I get to talk to my guys. So Randall, how did it go this week? What big happened in the world for you?
For me, just to continue in my rebranding of my robotics program, I'm actually finishing up a grant sponsored by TVA and a few other entities. I can't remember all their acronyms, but most people know TVA as the energy company in Tennessee and some of the other surrounding states, and they like to give away money for robotics. So, hey, I'm trying to get in there and get some of that money, and with my other cohorts, they're sending me other places that's wanting to grant money to programs of STEM and robotics.
Did you go through any walls this week?
No walls.
Oh.
I like to
Oh,
bust into
yeah.
some walls to do some more new projects.
That's what's happening. Donald, what's been
Sir.
going on? What happened? Did you attend any conferences this week? You did any special
No,
speaking events? You
no,
all
I
over the
haven't.
world.
Man, no, ain't all over the world yet. He's trying to get there. No, I haven't. No, I haven't done any of that this week. I have applied to speak at a conference in San Francisco in October.
Hmm.
So hopefully I hear something from them pretty soon. I put in the application for this cohort to get some funding for the project I'm working on. I put in another application for some funding because for the project I'm working on, and I'm preparing for this event that's happening in about 3 weeks here in Tulsa. The GitHub Copilot Tulsa, and
Okay.
so yeah, it's basically gonna be it's not gonna be a demonstration. It's gonna be a working session. So we've already got people signing up. So they're gonna come in. Some people gonna be getting an introduction. Some people gonna be getting a refresher. It's just an opportunity to show people what they can do with AI for their jobs, their businesses, and so forth and so on. So it's open to developers, entrepreneurs, and those just interested in AI. So yeah, so some interesting stuff going on. Not a lot, just a little bit.
It's a little bit. I hear that.
Yeah. What
I hear
about you,
that.
Major?
Man, this week it's all about, work. I did start building an app. I did
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this cannabis theme?
So this app, I don't want to give it away. It's a marketplace app. That's all I'm going to just say. It's a marketplace
Okay.
app
Okay.
bringing consumers and business owners together. That's all I'm
Okay.
going to say. I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, look, that's good enough for me. I just wanted a hint. That's a good hint.
Well, now I'm at the part where I got to get involved because I've been using AI to help me code it out, and
Okay.
now I got to do some testing, and I'm talking real live testing. So I got to do some testing. What else is going on? Next week is a pretty good week.
Mhm.
Starting next week, and the week after that is pretty much going to be attending a couple of conferences. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be in Dallas, in Las Colinas,
Okay.
specifically at Microsoft, attending the AI in a Day
Okay.
conference.
Okay.
A lot of guys hit me up, said they're going to be there and talking about it. So that'll be real cool. So I will attend
Man,
that, and
it's
then
been ages since I attended a Microsoft event.
oh yeah, this one I don't know. I hadn't been one in a couple of years myself, so this will be nice. They actually have two more that you have to get invited to, but
Mhm.
for
Okay.
two Wednesday and Thursday. But I don't know if I'm gonna have time to attend those. And then the week after that, I'll be in San Diego, representing for my organization at
Okay.
the Tableau conference. So we'll see how that goes. We'll
Go
see.
Tableau.
There you go,
Tableau,
Tableau. Yeah, first you
Tableau.
started using Tableau a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm one of them guys that actually when me and Donald worked
Yeah.
for Hilton, we
Yeah.
were first Tableau came out, and it
Yeah.
was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah. I remember that.
So
Yeah. I was not too happy about Tableau at the time.
no, I wouldn't either. Yeah, so it was terrible, and it didn't work very well, and it didn't do what
Right.
they wanted it to do. So
Right. Right.
they went with
Yeah.
SAS. So yeah, but now Tableau is it's a player in the market.
Big player. Real
Yeah,
big
it's a
player.
big player. It has a lot of market share.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Just, pitter-patting around, trying to stay out of trouble.
And, and so that's the one thing you just mentioned, about Tableau not liking it. And I want to tie this back into what you doing, what you building. I just posted something on LinkedIn. It may have been yesterday. I think it was. It said that when you're building, when it starts out, it may not be pretty, it may be ugly, but you
Yeah,
start. And
That's
so
fine.
that's the thing about it. Sometimes us as technologists, we can be a bit of perfectionists, and we want things to be polished before we show. But what happens is that either delays the process of its getting coming to market, or it even can stop it from coming to market at all. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I just encourage you, man. Even when you're not happy with something, if you got something that's putting a dot in A and making a line to B, show somebody. Do some testing
So,
for real.
Donald, how long you know about the app that I'm building.
Yeah,
You remember how long we were talking about that app?
man. 2, 3 years, maybe.
No, this is the one where we was in Hilton.
Oh, are you talking about
Hilton.
8, 9 years ago?
Man, we were talking about the app. We gained together. Remember,
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Harris came up
Oh,
there?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, we had a whole we came out to the office on a Saturday. I
Yeah.
think we had a whole got a conference room. We had some community folks involved. I think a couple of folks from the community involved. Yeah. Hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna try to just throw it together and see what happens. Start testing it, and then we'll see which direction it goes.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, do
That
that.
almost that
Yeah.
almost sound like one of my programs I had to write for myself. I was okay with it, being on crutches, but when somebody else saw me, said, "Hey, why don't you sell that to me?" I said, "Okay, let me fix it, before I sell it to you."
No, you'll be surprised what users um will tolerate when it comes to apps, because if you're solving a problem but they know you're building, they'll tolerate those early stages because you're solving a problem that they have.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I probably wrote one of the first label programs before anybody thought about writing a label program, and I wrote it for me because I got tired of typing the labels. So I wrote it for me, and then when they wanted it, I said, "Okay, I got a beta tester now. I'm the alpha tester. They're gonna be my beta tester," and she did run into a few problems that I had to fix. I had to go back and figure out how to fix them for when she was running into them.
Yeah, we need people who solve problems.
Man, what you talking about? Man, look, if invention is born out of necessity. I think we talked about it before. We mentioned that before. Invention is born out of necessity. Because even with the the platform that I'm building, and you all know about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it because I done published the MVP, the Bit Voices Network.
Yes, sir.
Um, and I've been I've been jumping in groups and on LinkedIn and on these Facebook groups. Now I'm in a black tech WhatsApp group, and I've been meeting folks and and this one guy I was talking to, he's like, man, I'm so glad you're building that. He said I've been trying to will somebody to build what you're building. And so I was like, wow. And so I said, man, so actually the people I'm looking for, they out there, they want what I'm trying to put together. And so you'll find out that the way I look at it, sometimes things are bigger than us.
Yeah,
Sometimes
for
they're
sure.
not, but sometimes they are. Sometimes it's bigger than us. And so we gotta push that ego aside.
For sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But man, look, I know we can banter and chit chat and chitter chatter um for a while, but we are here for a purpose, and our purpose is to highlight people, um, technologists, professionals, and entrepreneurs and founders that are doing great things in the world. And so today we do have a guest, Yousef um, Bin Ageil. And I hope I pronounced it right, even though he told me how to pronounce it. In the last several minutes, I may have gotten it wrong. But he's
Think
the
you did,
founder of
bro.
the Soil Institute. He's a systems innovator, designer, developer, author. He's building human first, community owned systems. He's that's focused on food, water, shelter, health, and belonging. He's the creator of StoreHouse. StoreHouse aims to help address food deserts and support local farmers. He has global perspective shaped by the work he's done in Indonesia at a young age. He's thinking deeply about human dignity, ownership, and the future of systems, also exploring human centered AI. He's developing Year Zero, the human rebirth. And so we just want to welcome today to the podcast. Yusuf, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me.
All
By
right.
the way,
Yeah.
you were this close of getting my last name right. This close.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pass. Don't worry.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for the pass. Cause
No
look,
problem.
cause names are important, and
Very.
honoring somebody's name and pronouncing it right. You know that's important to do. But so look, Yusuf, we're gonna start off this way. For people meeting you for the first time, who is Yusuf, and what experiences has shaped the way you see the world?
That's a very
I'm
that
starting off heavy
question.
today.
Who is Yusuf? So I'm not really the type of person to talk about myself. So it's really difficult for me to have a conversation on who I am. But I can give you my experiences, and after the experiences, you can probably decide for yourself who I am as a human being, with my experiences and my background. So the things that you labeled is something a part of me and my mission here for a very long time. This is ever since I was 5 years old. You know, I remember watching an infomercial, um, and it was a Michael Jackson commercial, and he was talking about the song that they don't care about us. The song that everybody knows
Yeah.
about. And that song, as I was like dancing and looking at it when I was 5, an infomercial hits, and it goes directly to children that were in need of food in Africa. So it's that
Mm.
5 cents a day type thing. Um,
Yeah.
and his stomach was bloated, flies all over his face. And that moment shocked me because I didn't know children actually lived like that. I didn't know that something like that actually existed. So it was like
Mhm.
a shock to my heart when I saw that. And in that moment, I made a supplication to God. And I said, as long as I'm here on earth, I never want to see something like that again. And so I wanted to kind of clear that problem and to never have a child suffer. especially if that's a human dignity and a human need is food, shelter and health and belonging and water, all of these things we need. So that
Yeah.
didn't make sense to me. So it didn't click. So that's the moment I started my journey to kind of make sure that I'm actually doing something here on earth that has value and means something beyond me, beyond status, beyond everything. It's the seed that you're planting has to grow into something magnificent. And so that was something that really touched my heart. And I continued from there. After that, started my first business was when I was 7 years old. Started my own
Wow.
lemonade stand. So my dad would go and get a lot of lemonades, right? In the Middle East, we
Yeah.
we we buy a lot of lemonade or a lot of fruits and vegetables, but we buy them by the boxes. We don't buy them by one or two. It's big crates of food. And so I would sit there and like decide on what I wanted to do. And we lived in a private neighborhood. And so in the Middle East, a lot of the kids there, they don't really have experience to a lot of American food and like delicacies. So I looked at that as my opportunity to do something unique. So
Okay.
my father is he's from Saudi Arabia, so he's originally Yemeni blood, and my mother is African American and Cherokee. Her mother is, or my great grandmother is full blood Cherokee here in Tulsa.
Okay.
So living overseas was kind of like this big opportunity to kind of do something. And at 7, I just, that one commercial had me thinking of how can I give back? How can I solve this issue that I'm looking at? And so the lemonade stand happened. I would go and like collect lemons when my mom would have it. And I would go and like squeeze them, make the juice, go outside and sell it with my siblings. That turned into a second business. So I made profit off of that and I turned that into a candy stand. So the candy stand ended up doubling and I made a huge profit off of that. And I saw that the other opportunity that was actually lacking was a lot of transportation because a lot of the women there didn't
Mhm.
drive, so they didn't have access to cars. So I took that opportunity and I would knock on everyone's door and I would ask them if they needed any type of services. And the one thing they needed was someone to go and get them items from the grocery store because they didn't have a car to go. So my friend, he had a four-wheeler and we made a deal. It was a four-wheeler that was just sitting there for like a few years and he could never start it up. So for me, I have this engineering mind, so I kind of took everything apart. I disassembled his engine, I fixed everything up, I built it back in, and I got the engine working. And I told him if I get it working, I'm going to use this for a business that I have. I didn't tell him what it was, so I got it working and I used that for my own delivery service. So I would use the four-wheeler, pick up groceries, bring it back, and that became a killer. So that was the beginning of my why I'm doing what I'm doing today was the start of that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that
That's
is.
awesome.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
From lemonade stand.
They tell you to network. Cool. But builders don't just need more people, they need the right rooms. Rooms where ideas can breathe, where progress gets shared, where feedback is real, where builders stop lurking and start showing their work. That's what builder hubs do inside Bit Voices. They create spaces for focused conversation, shared momentum, and real connection around what people are actually building. So now, this isn't just another place to scroll. It's where builders find their people, find their lane, and keep building.
to
Yeah.
to Uber Eats.
Uber Eats,
Right.
exactly, before Uber Eats existed. Right.
Uber delivery
That's
or Dash Mart,
it's not a joke. I tell people that all the time. I created Uber before Uber existed. And people are like,
Nice.
"What?" I'm like, "You
There
guys
you
just don't
go.
have any idea."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Wow. That so wow. Yeah. And I love I love the progression. And I love how the seed was planted. And I'm gonna say this: how God planted the seed in you in your heart. Because I'm a firm believer of in purpose. And I do believe that we as human beings, individuals, have purpose here. And
Right.
unfortunately, everyone does not find what their purpose is. But those that
Or
do
even
find their
see what their
purpose,
purpose is.
yeah. But when God plants that seed and you take it and you begin to water it, and I love the that you found it at an early age at 5, and you saw something that immediately touched your heart, and you didn't sit on it. You say, okay, and when you saw opportunities, you moved on them.
Right.
I think that's awesome, and that's great. Now so you live you living in America. You lived in the Middle East. And so I know there's so many cultural differences, um infrastructure differences and all of. How has that shaped you and how you approach your purpose, how you approach the way um you fulfill your missions?
That's a very good question. And to piggyback on what you just said, I was fortunate to find that passion at a very, very young age. I
Hmm.
didn't have to dip into things and be a part of certain groups before I found my path. So I
Yes.
appreciate that question. Coming from Saudi Arabia, living there, it's a lot of segregation, um, but there's a lot of discipline. So at a very young age, and I tell a lot of people this, but this is needed here in the United States. But at a young age, when you are 7 years old, let's say from the time you're born to the time you're 5, you're surrounded by your mother. Okay, you're heavily under her influence. The time that you turn 7 is when you have to be around men. Okay, and so you start your life around men at 7 years old, and the man now takes over the leadership of shaping the boy. So here you're no
Right.
longer under the mother. So what we have overseas, we call them majlis. Like a majlis is basically a huge living room, and all you see from left to right in a giant circle are all your family members, uncles, your cousins, uh, anyone and everyone that you can imagine. They're all from a different level of profession. So you have doctors, engineers, lawyers. You have everyone to piggyback off of. That way, you don't waste your time in life trying to figure out what you want to do. You actually have people in your family where you can pull information from. So if there's a doctor in the family, we have every type of specialty that you can imagine. If I want to specialize in something, I go to that person and that person will mentor me throughout my entire life. So I don't move from that person's side. So they stick on you. So it's the impression that you get from your family members or the people that you
Hmm.
surround yourself with. And so it's very important to have that mindset, but also have a structure behind you, motivating and pushing you so you don't get lost in what you're trying to achieve. Because a lot of people will try to figure out on their own. Luckily, I had to have something in front of me to give me that opportunity to kind of see my moves. But at the same time, the way that I think is different. So I'm like the black sheep of my family. Like the stuff that I'm doing, nobody is doing. And so coming to the United States was night and day. Living in that environment and then coming here, the support system was kind of weak. It took a toll on me. Because it was really like,
Yeah.
who do I have here? Who do I have to support me? Friends, family. You had to start from scratch. So then living in this community, specifically Tulsa, Oklahoma, you guys know the story here, right? So
Yeah.
living in this community was very difficult to kind of get people kind of on your side. Because if we want to be real, it's sometimes your own people that really harm your efforts. It'll be your own group of
Yeah.
people that don't want you to
That's so
succeed.
true.
You
Exactly.
want something done, you want to build something, but sometimes they come in to jeopardize. And you want to work. I'm the type, hey, I want everybody to be a part of something. But sometimes it's like you have to sit back and reflect on that and see what we can actually do from a different perspective. Sometimes it's not always a good idea, But coming back here, it was really difficult. We had to start from scratch. I mean, we had probably $5 in our pocket to really like build something all over again. And we came from that. So living here, went to school, went to high school here, and got an opportunity to actually, after high school, to go to MIT and Harvard. So I
Okay.
decided to instead, in 2012, instead of going to a brick and mortar, I decided to go overseas because living here, we were kind of separated from my family for a few years. And so I went back overseas and I went to Jakarta, Indonesia. But prior to going there, I developed a geo-mapping system application, and I didn't know why I was building it. It was just in dreams. I would go to sleep and I had my notepad because I sleep next to my notepad, and I would wake up after a dream and I would write information down. So every time I would dream of something, I would write it. I would wake up, jump up, and just write things down. And so this happened for 3 years straight. And so I didn't know why I was getting this information and why I was putting it together, but I put it together and I just put it on the shelf. I didn't touch it. So for those 3 years of me doing it, I left it. So then I decided 2012 to get out of here and just go see a new environment. And I just got a plane ticket. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have 2 dimes to push together. And my friends helped me put the capital together. And I actually bought a plane ticket, went to Jakarta, Indonesia, and I fell in love with the place. And I got there and I saw tons of opportunities. I got there before technology actually implemented in the region. So I was there before all of the stuff that you guys see now. So they have their own version of Uber. They have all of these big companies that are happening there. I was there before all of this. So it was a blank slate. I got there and the first thing I did was, once I saw these opportunities in front of me, I went directly to the United States Embassy and I called them up my first day. And I made a phone call directly to the, it was a business department, but they specialized in like innovation and technology that they were trying to attract to the country. So I got in touch with the head guy there, the director of that department. And I just basically told him exactly who I was and why I was here and my mission for me to be in Indonesia. This is what I wanted to do. And he said, you know what? I just got off the phone with one of the top tech guys in the region who wants to expand data centers, and he's looking for opportunities. And I think your project would be a good fit for this new opportunity.
Oh, wow.
Meet me in my office like tomorrow morning. So I'm getting there. I'm putting everything together. I set up the appointment, and the next day I rush. And Indonesia is known for the worst traffic in the world. It's literally number 1. And so take you 15 minutes to get somewhere, you're going to take at least 2 to 3 hours to take 15 minutes. It's huge. It's horrible.
You didn't have a bike?
No, straight up car, man. It's 20 million in a city. So imagine that. So
20 million in a city.
20 million people. So I got there and I rushed and I wasn't thinking, and I ended up going without taking my passport.
Boy.
So I get there and there's a guy standing, he's a guard, obviously, AK-47, full outfit. And I'm like, I have an appointment, but he goes, well, where's your passport? I said, well, I don't have my passport, but I have an appointment and it's set up right now. I have to go. And so this is the moment where I tell people you always have to believe in God. Like you always have to have a connection to God and don't worry about nothing. So we always say, you know, tawakkal ala Allah, which means connect yourself and rely on God. So this is what we always say. So yeah, I didn't have my passport. Come to find out, 2 days prior to me going to this embassy, there was a bomb threat. Okay. And the description of the guy that tried to do this bomb threat didn't have a passport.
Come on.
And he described everything that I was doing and going through. He described it.
Yousef, you're a terrorist. Come on, man.
Right. He had the exact same description.
You
So I'm
fit the
like, okay, so
description.
now I'm thinking like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna make this meeting. So there were two phones. There was one in red, and then there was another one in like a beige color. The red is for the emergency. If there was something going on, he would pick up the red phone. So I'm praying he doesn't pick up this phone. And he looks at me, he turns around, he picks up the beige phone. As he picks it up, there's a guy that walks by, and I can see in the glass. And he looks at me, he goes, Yousef? I'm like, yeah. And I said his name. He goes, what are you doing out here? Let's go. The meeting is about to start. I said, well, I can't come in because I don't have my passport. He goes, you know what? I actually left my office to go downstairs to go to Starbucks. You want to go there instead? I said, that is what I'm saying when I say you have to rely on God. So we
Wow.
ended up
There
we
you
ended up
go. There you go.
I met him just in time for his coffee break before our meeting. And so we went downstairs, we had our entire meeting there. He puts me on the phone with the guy that he was telling me about. He puts him on speaker, and we have a discussion, and the guy loves the project. He loves the innovation behind it. And he tells me, listen, come to my office 5 a.m. tomorrow, and we will discuss everything at that moment. So that happens. I go to his office, and
With your
as I'm
passport.
talking to him, we fast forward the next day, and he tells me, listen, I have 75 programmers. They're really just sitting around. They don't really have a lot of work to do because we don't have a lot of clients yet. Why don't you take all of my 75 developers and you can use them however you want? Like if you're building something, go ahead and just.
This man got an army.
Well, what? So I was like,
Give
wait,
me
wait.
75
Right.
developers.
So I said,
I know
wait, so
that's right.
I can just build whatever I want. He said, dude, whatever you want, we can sign something, whatever you build is yours. I just don't, he said, I'm basically paying these guys to sit around and they're not doing nothing. So they might as well work with you and I can partner with you and we can go from there. I said, okay, cool.
Wow.
Well, to tell you, I've been working on this project for 3 years and you can come in now, and all those developers became a part of my team and they actually helped me build out this app that I've been working on for those 3 years. They hold on to it, and I leave. I get a call from the United Nations. And so I park that project and I put that project to the side and I go back to the United States. And I became a mentor to a bunch of kids that were building a lot of startups in their region. And it was a group from Brazil and a group from China. And I basically helped them establish their projects and get funding. When they actually go back home, they had their full funding. I built up everything for them. After that meeting, Indonesia calls me back. And the United Nations in Indonesia now has a big project going on, and they want me to go back in the following month. And so the moment I wrapped everything up here, I flew back. And when I flew back, I had a chance to get invited to this huge event. And on stage, there was a guy talking about innovation, what he wanted to do for the region, and how he wanted to develop new concepts. So
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, but I was just paying attention. And later on, he then acknowledges that he's the right-hand man to the president of Indonesia, and he was looking for cool projects to present to the president. So he was only looking for one project out of everybody there. And so he went from booth to booth, kind of doing background on everybody. And I'm the only one from the United States. So I'm like, okay, what can I say to get this guy's attention that nobody is saying? So as he's going from booth to booth, I'm standing behind him and I'm listening. I'm just paying attention to his words. I'm just kind of doing this little espionage, just collecting data.
Yeah.
And he passed up on everybody. So I'm like, okay, they're not doing something right. So he was talking to one group and I was standing right behind him. And as soon as he turns back around, I'm standing right behind him. So now we're locked eyes to eye. And I go, look, sir, I just came from the United States. I came all the way from the United States. I just arrived. And I came all the way here to this event. Now, I know I can offer you something, and I just want to have a chance to have that opportunity to present myself on a high level meeting, if that's possible. I capture his attention, and I told him briefly what I was working on. And immediately he pulls out his card and he says, listen, meet me at a coffee shop. And he gave me the directions, and we'll meet there and I can make a decision there. We won't talk here. I said, okay. So 2 days later, I bring my team. We all go and meet him. And as we're talking, I start breaking down the project even more. And I tell him about, this is 3 years I was working on this thing. I don't know why I built it, but I know I built it for a reason. I'm here to present it, and I want this to be in front of the president. As I'm building this conversation, he drops his cup and he goes, dude, I'm going to buy you a coffee. I said, why? What happened? He goes, for 3 years, look at the number, same number. He said, for 3 years, I've been working on what you just built and I failed. And now my position, his employment is basically on the hook. So he hasn't presented himself and he's been failing for these 3 years, and I just solved his problem.
Wow.
Okay. So this is one of those things my aunt always told me. She goes, stay ready. You never have to get ready.
That's
So
correct.
I stayed ready.
Right.
I didn't know why I had this, but I stayed ready. So he told me, listen, I want you and all of your team members to meet me tomorrow. This is another tomorrow. At the equivalent of the White House. So they have their own equivalent of the White House in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
So we all go there. And when we get there, this is the first time my team, and they've lived there all their life, this is the first time they've ever stepped foot in this building. So they were like super excited. They didn't know what happened. How in the world did I even do this? So we get there, and I told them one thing. I said, listen, when we get into this room, whatever you do, do not talk about the project.
Yo, Black builders. If you're out here learning, building, experimenting, and trying to find your people, BitVoices Network is for you. This is more than just another platform. It's a space where Black technologists, founders, creators, and future builders can be seen, supported, and in motion together. Share what you're working on. Join the conversation. Tap into builder hubs. Learn from others who are building for real. We're not just talking about ideas over here. We're building culture, community, and momentum. Join us inside BitVoices Network. Come build with us.
Like, I know that there's going to be layers before we even touch the president. You understand? So, and when we got there were fingerprint scans, retina scans. There were like all type of things that they were doing. And the final place that they put you is in this room. And I said, this final room, there's going to be speakers. Okay.
Hey, listening.
Right. So whatever you do not say something stupid. Do not talk about anything on the news. Open up the laptop and just start developing. Just start coding. Don't talk about nothing else. Okay? Why? I said, listen, I'm telling you, they're watching us, because if you fail at this final room, they could terminate the meeting if you say something wrong. So just keep your mind sharp and just keep focused. So once we pass that, we get 3 knocks on the door, because the lady said, well, when you get 3 knocks, that's when you know. So that they came in, 3 knocks on the door opens up, we get escorted with the military. So the military is escorting us to the back room. And as soon as I get to the back room, it was like this giant table. We all sit down, and his entire staff comes in, all the entire president's staff. They all walk in. These are all the top technologists in the region. They all come in. They all sit down. They're all looking at me. I'm not a citizen. I don't speak the language. I'm literally there. I just left the United States. I don't even know how I got there. So I'm still confused on how I even got there. And out of all the spots that we could take, I ended up sitting in the president's chair.
Oh, come on, man. What are you doing? You couldn't tell the big chair? The big chair. Are you serious?
Oh, the big chair with his picture behind it. I took that.
Oh, look at you.
Come in like he the boss.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm the
the
president
president
now.
come in like, who is this? Who is this? Whose guy is this? Whose man is this?
Man,
Right,
we
He a
can't
betrayer.
right,
we can't go
right,
nowhere. We can't
right,
take you nowhere.
right. So I'm like, they're looking at me. So I'm like, should I move? But by that time, he was walking in. And so when he walked in, he just looked and just laughed and just left me there. He didn't say anything.
Go ahead,
So
man. Go
yeah,
ahead.
just go ahead. So that was basically how we broke ice, and we broke bread together. And the president, absolutely, his group loved the project. Come to find out, they've been basically dealing with a lot of theft and misappropriation of money. So they would send like $100 million to an island, and the entire capital gets lost. And so they had no traction. So my platform tracked all of that information.
Nice.
So when he looked at that, he goes, "Listen, whatever he needs, support him." So he tells his entire group, anything he needs, give it to him. And I then meet the deputy governor, and from there he opens up the opportunity for me to have access to 17,000 islands. And from there, man, I was going from island to island, looking at certain projects, basically going in as a non-citizen so I can kind of blend in and kind of understand what's happening, so I can get the truth from people. But it was also a opportunity for me to look around for problems that they wanted me to solve. And so that's what I did as well. And so I was a consultant. I was really pushing it. I was like 21, 22. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? It was just moving so fast. And
Right.
so I get there, and this is when the aha moment happens. And it takes me back to when I was 5 years old. Because now that planted seed of you helping people, you kind of got distracted in your life, wanting to build this and
Yeah,
build that. But this was
yeah,
that it took me back to when I was 5, that supplication that I made when I started to go from region to region, and I started to live with a lot of the farmers. And I don't like bougie stuff. I like to live on the earth with people. So I want to be with the locals. And so I lived with the farmers and I ate from their farm. And every single time they would ask, questions about the United States, and I would ask about their condition because I would see that they were in a very bad condition. And they didn't want to talk a lot. They really didn't want to express themselves too much. They were kind of afraid. And I would watch how they would go outside with their babies on their backs and pesticides and chemicals and things that they didn't really understand. They had no knowledge or education. The only thing they had was a piece of land that's been in their family for over 100 years. So this was the only thing of value that they understood. So I asked them a question, basically, who's going to take over once this is over? And they didn't have a family that wanted to be a farmer. Like, nobody wanted to be a farmer. They wanted to live in the city because they saw how horrible their families actually lived. So the next generation were saying, hey, we want to live in a city. We don't want to live here on this farm. And so I said, well, what is the main problem that you guys are facing here? And their main issue was a lot of the middlemen that approaches them from a certain country, I don't want to say where, but would give them loads of cash on demand, because a lot of the farmers, they didn't have access to the bank anymore because they were in so much debt. So they couldn't go to the bank. So this middleman would come and give them suitcases full of cash and say, hey, we know that you can't go to the farm, to the bank and get money, but we have what you need. Go ahead and take what you need. What they don't know is that person, that middleman, goes back to the city and he sits on the board of all of the major um, um, grocery store chains. Okay, so he sits on the board and he starts increasing the prices of food in the grocery store. Okay, they start voting on things, they start increasing prices, things go up. Well, when those things go up, the farmer can't keep up. They can't sell anything because they're so expensive. They're not actually making a profit. So that middleman goes back after a few months and says, hey guys, so you're defaulting on that loan that we gave you. You haven't given us anything. What's going on with our loan? So they say, well, we haven't had a chance to make any money. So the next thing they do is, well, if you can't pay us, then we want your land.
Oh,
Mm.
This happens all the time, and they do that on purpose.
Yeah, of
So
course they do.
now they start taking the land from people, and they had no idea how to secure themselves. So that was my wake-up call to say, no, I can't continue what I'm doing. I have to stop this, put this on ice, and figure out a solution for the farmers. And so I came back 2018, beginning of 2019, and I started hearing about food deserts. And so when I started hearing
yeah.
about that in the United States, I saw that one market, they didn't have access to fresh goods. And then the farmers, they didn't have access to a market that would buy their goods. So when I saw that gap, I said the only thing that's stopping these two are the people in the middle. And so I wanted to remove that person in the middle, get that guy out of the way, and say, for the farmers, since you don't understand business, but you understand how to farm, I will build you a platform that takes care of the business side. You just take care of the farming, and the community that don't have access to food, I provide you that gap that needs to be filled. And so the farmers now, they own the store completely without someone in the middle controlling the narrative. And so once that platform was kind of initiated, I went with Leadership Tulsa. I got selected with Leadership Tulsa during the pandemic. So it was kind of one of those things where I couldn't fly out anymore. I had to stay here and lock it in. I had to just lock it in and really focus on a real problem and find a solution for it. So Leadership Tulsa calls me. I get accepted into their program. It was a 1-year program. And I developed a system there where they taught me how to run a board, a nonprofit board. And I kind of figured out how I would like to position myself. So instead of getting done with this program, I just told them, listen, let's just jump to the ending. And I already have the knowledge on how to run all of this, but I have a project that I want to launch and I need your support. So the director immediately puts me with a bunch of organizations in the region here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And all of these guys reached out to me, and they came to me because they saw that the project that I was working on was actually beneficial. As soon as we did that, this is where the story kind of turns and it goes left. And this is where I had to learn how to pivot. So as much as you want to do good and you want to do good things in the community, this was one of those things where it really bit me. And it caused a lot of harm for a very long time. And so the city gets involved, and this nonprofit gets involved that I would mention later on. And they ended up basically wanting to spearhead the initiative. And
Yeah.
so the way that I developed it, I wanted it to basically put the nonprofit in a position where they can kind of spearhead the project without me having to start a nonprofit from scratch. So I wanted a vehicle. I wanted them to be the vehicle to kind of launch into the community, because they've been around for 80 plus years. So they were very trusted in the community for what I thought. And I had them kind of put that in their wheelhouse. And that part brought in a lot of individuals from the city to kind of get involved with the project and kind of help get the project launched. Well, that ended up attracting a city council member, which I won't say until later. But this particular city council member of a certain district really loved the project and accepted the project. So my goal was to keep it at a certain cost, certain structure, and a certain type
Right.
for a community that needed it.
Right.
But when people like this started to see dollars in their eyes, and they started to see
Yeah.
how much money they can actually make from a project that was really for humanity, it was for people. So things started to go left. Money started to get involved, as everything does.
Yep.
Once
Agreed.
money started to get involved, I only asked for probably 100,000 to get it started because this was a pilot.
Yeah.
Well, the group and this particular city council member, they wanted 500,000 up to $1 million for a 2,400 square foot grocery store. Now, I don't know how that makes sense for cost. Okay. So all of this started to it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Is a bribery involved here?
That's what I'm trying to get to. And so some things were happening under the table that I wasn't aware
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And so the moment this city councilor member gets a $500,000 check from the city, she retires the same year.
Come on, man.
Okay? Not just the same moment.
Wow. Wow.
Okay? So she retires, and guess what she does? She takes an executive directing position to the nonprofit that took the 500,000.
So she can get paid.
And there's something.
So she can get on the payroll.
Right.
Correct.
Get on the payroll and get
Oh,
the money.
sneaky rat.
That's great. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Okay.
Exactly. Oh,
Quid pro quo.
exactly. And I didn't know what was happening because they kept trying to nudge me to get this 28-acre piece of land out in the North Dawson area. And they kept nudging me to do it. And I'm like, listen, we don't need 28 acres. We're building a 2,400 grocery store. Give me
Right.
a half.
28 acres.
That's it.
Unless
And
you're gonna
so-
farm on it, you gonna
Right.
grow on it.
That's another story. And so I went with it, and I said, you know what? They kept forcing me to do it, and I'm like, okay, there's something here. I don't know what's going on, but clearly you guys have something going on with each other. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna find out. But I just watched everyone. So they kept forcing me to do it, and I'm like, listen, the area seems cool. It's not really where I want this to be. I wanted it to be in District 1, where most of the African American community lives. That's where I wanted this thing to be. They shifted it where majority of the people that were living there, because I found out this city was once an all-white city. So it was a city before Tulsa became this thing. And so they were on this notion of reviving the community to bring their people back because a lot of their people were leaving. Okay. They were leaving the area. And so as I'm there working on building this project, this mysterious donor comes out of nowhere. Okay. And I've been warned a few times that everybody in this community, they're all in bed together. So it doesn't matter who you're talking to, what you're doing, everybody's in bed together. So you have to be very careful. And so this guy comes out of nowhere and he purchases the 28 acres. He drops $800,000 on all of the land and he gifts the nonprofit the entire piece of land. He gives it to them as a gift. Okay. 800,000 comes out of nowhere. I'm now confused. I'm confused. Like, okay, whoa, what just happened here? So things start going, and the agreement was, you as a nonprofit, you're only going to spearhead this with me being the leader and the owner. That was the goal. That was the agreement.
Right.
But when they saw the numbers and they saw what they could make, and when they saw all of these things, they took 2 years of my time, which really should have taken 6 months to build. So 2 years, I'm literally with them, working with them. And so I forced them to make me a consultant because you're not going to take up my time and then take my project and waste it. So you're going to pay me for building the project out. So I found a loop for me to get paid instead of just sitting around.
Right.
So if you want the project and you want it the way that you want it, you have to pay me. And so once that happened, all of a sudden, after the 2 years of me building this thing out from scratch, I developed the whole blueprint to micro groceries in this region. They had no idea how to build it. I wrote the whole template for the city. They had no idea how to run this thing. As soon as I put everything forward and they quote unquote milk my intelligence, they decided at the very end to call me to renew my contract 2025.
Oh, here come the
Okay,
bull.
here come the bull. So
Yeah.
2025, they call me and they go, hey, you have to come to the office like now. I'm like, why? Well, we have to talk to you about your contract. Oh, the contract that you've been talking to me about for like 6 months that I've been asking you for to review? You want me to come by and sign it? Yeah, we want you to come by and sign it. Well, I need to review it. I'm not a dummy. I'm not gonna sign something without my lawyer taking a look at it.
Right.
So they're like, no, we need you now. I was like, well, I've been waiting for that contract for 6 months. I'm not gonna rush and sign anything. Well, if you don't sign it, then we're not gonna pay you and we're not gonna continue, we can't continue working with you. Now keep this in mind, and this is the reason why I had to take that call. Because my entire salary that they gave me, I didn't take a dime. I gave all of my money to the orphans and the projects that I was building overseas. That was my salary for 2 years.
Nice.
So I was giving it to the kids overseas and family members that needed houses to be built. So that's where my salary went. So when I heard someone threaten me and threaten that livelihood of people to say, if you don't come to sign this, you don't get paid, my heart starts to like, okay, whoa, hold on. Because this is not about me anymore. It's about people that I'm taking care of.
Right.
And so they basically put me against the wall, like, you have to make a decision. And so I was like, well, can you give me some time? They're like, nah, this is the last day. If you don't sign it today, you're not on payroll. And this executive has a very bad habit of doing things at the last moment. That she has a very bad habit, and she does it on purpose. And she
Of
likes
course.
to backtrack dates, right? So I get to the house and I'm thinking it's going to be like a 20-page contract that I have to review.
Yeah.
I get there and it's 1 page, a
It
front
took
and
you
back.
6 months to write 1 page?
1
My
page,
God.
1 page is a front and back.
That smell like bull crap. I smell bull.
You smell it, right? So
Right.
now she's like, as I'm reading it, the office manager and her are both talking to me to distract me so I don't actually read the contract all the way. So they're both trying to distract me, and I already peeped game. So I looked at both of them. I said, listen, I'm reviewing something and I need you guys to kind of give me a moment. Like, don't cut me off and don't distract me. And so they hush each other up. Okay, shh, be quiet, be quiet. He has to review. As I'm reviewing, she taps me on the shoulder and she goes, sorry, I've actually been having this contract in my car for the 6 months that we've been meeting, and I forgot to give it to you. So now I'm boiling because it's like, you're up to something. I know you're up to something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out. So she's been having it, didn't tell me anything, and they forced me to sign it. So then they do one of these. They're like, come on,
with
because we have to get you in the system. So I say, you know what, forget it. I turn the paper over, I sign, I give her the document, and before I went there, I told her in the text, I said, listen, if you force me to sign this contract, you're going to be forced to sign an intellectual property agreement that you're going to have to look over from my end. Is that a deal? And she goes, okay, deal. Let's review it. So when I get there, I tell her, let's meet somewhere else. So we go to Panera Bread. And when I got to Panera Bread, the documents are literally on the table for 1 hour. 1 hour. and she's she's basically sharing with me her life story and what she's up to and what she's doing. She's ignoring the fact that there's a document for her to review. And so 1 hour goes by, about 30 minutes to an hour, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go. I have to go cook." I'm like, "No, what do you mean you gotta go? You have to review what I gave you."
Right.
So she tries to leave, and I'm like, "No, here, take this contract, and I want you to review it." So she's like, "Okay, I'll review it when I get home." She gets home, and now I go home and I review the contract they gave me and forced me to sign at her house. So now when I have the time to review, everything on the contract is not what she promised. Everything on the backside is basically, I'm going to be responsible for materials for the store. I'm like, dude, I'm the founder. What are you talking about? Materials for the grocery store. So the whole contract was fabricated. It was literally a false contract. And so they quickly tried to like change the narrative, and I gave them basically time to review the intellectual property. And I didn't hear nothing from them for a few months. And all of a sudden they message me and they go, "Hey, we have to meet." And their lawyer tells them to have a meeting with me to terminate me and fire me and to get rid of me from this project. And I asked them, for what? What did I do wrong? And they said, "Well, you have malicious intent." And I'm like, malicious intent against my own project? That doesn't make sense. I'm the founder. I built this entire thing. Why would I harm my own project? "Well, you have malicious intent against them." I said, "How?" Like, the contract literally says the whole project is under you. What am I doing wrong? And so she thought she didn't know that she was giving me a contract that was false. And then when I put that element into the picture, immediately the story changed. And so they start playing these games, you know, month after month. I don't hear nothing from them all 2025. That's when the pivot happened, and I had to start the Soil Institute. So that's when the nonprofit actually started. And so when that started, that is when I actually had to come back into the scene, pivot, and change the grocery store name from Bazaar, Bazar, to StoreHouse. And so they try to take everything from underneath me. They try to hide the truth. They're still hiding the truth. And I went out on Channel 2, man. I just started my my nonprofit. It was March of 2025. I reached out to Channel 2, reached out to Channel 23, and I went out there, man. I had the grocery store that was being built in a backdrop. I had my logo. I had all of the information that I was responsible for. And I had Channel 2 tape me while the grocery store was behind me. So they can lie all they want, but the truth is always going to be the truth. And the founder is always going to have to step foot into the scene. And when I did that, all of the information from that store was in the conversation. And that was the launch of my new nonprofit, to let everybody know what these people are doing is not the truth. And I am the founder of this. I'm the visionary behind this entire concept. So they omitted me out of everything. All the magazines, all of the news feeds, my name is nowhere to be found. And
They
so
stole your content.
they stole everything, and they completely destroyed the model. And people that look like us don't even work in the store. They hired their own people. So they
So
destroyed.
the store actually ended up opening up.
If
How
you
long
guys right now look at Tulsa, Oklahoma, Bazaar grocery store, micro grocery store.
Yep.
That is have you heard of it?
Yep.
Yep. So that's the store. So they basically snagged everything, man. They spent $1.2 million on the entire project, and I had to start everything from scratch.
Man.
And they just launched
Man.
April the 11th.
That's a that's a load
I know.
to take. Go ahead, Randall. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that's something, on your project, and then now you have to relaunch it yourself, and you didn't get any credit for it. And I've been down that road myself, where launch something, and somebody else, take it from you. So I understand. Yeah, I wish you much success getting your own thing going, and just exceed them.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And that's the goal. That's the
yeah.
goal.
That
But
is a goal.
everybody needs to know the truth. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm
No, no,
looking at
no, no, no.
I'm
That's
looking
good.
at
Go
this
ahead.
thing now, man. I it, I'm gonna share my screen, man. We we're gonna have to figure this one out because I want to see if this is this what we're talking about,
That's it.
man. What are black people at?
You understand?
The ones,
Right. The
What's
mayor.
the mayor?
The mayor. The mayor is the
Correct.
only black person. That should,
Correct.
Come on with it, man.
Yeah, they snagged the entire project from underneath me, man. So, but nobody knows this truth. And so I'm happy that people can get to see and can get
My
to
people ain't
understand.
even working in there. God. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
it makes you
So
upset.
it does make it sad. So I just want to give a message to to founders and people that are trying to start things. Listen, don't let anybody rush you to sign anything.
right,
Wow, wow.
That's it.
But I can definitely understand the pressure that you were feeling because
Correct.
you had people that were looking to you, people that were depending on you,
Right.
and they were looking to say, hey, we pretty much gonna
Right.
disrupt that if you don't sign this paper. Wow,
Correct. Correct.
wow.
So what's going on with the new project? I mean, I assume it's still litigation, and you still struggling with the first project, but the new one, how is that one going? The soil.
I mean, it's going great, man. This is why I had to kind of sit back and I didn't want to launch anything until I figured out what was going on with the first one. But the second, this one is doing well, man. We're doing a lot of connections here, a lot of support from like South America, parts of Africa. So there's a lot of farmers that want to join this movement. But again, you can't do anything because once they fired me, it tarnished my name, right?
Mm,
So it looks on the outside that I did something bad, and I got an opportunity to get to work on this project, but they also got rid of me, and they don't know why. Nobody knows why I got kicked to the curb. Nobody understands, and so that took time to kind of rebuild not just the project but my name. And that's why whenever you said in the very beginning, it's very important to get the person's name right. That's
yeah.
why it's extremely important to me to have your name to be presented correctly. And
Yes.
so this is where I'm at right now, is to kind of clarify the misunderstandings with people, because it went from people answering phone calls to like now people are like, oh, you're that guy. You're that guy that worked on this project. Oh, did you take the money? Did you do this? No, I didn't touch anything.
So Yusuf, what I've learned is those situations that happen to us that are terrible, right? This was something that just, you know, you never want to happen to anybody. It's a lifelong dream. You have your own project, you know exactly what you want to do. And then for some reason, and I'm going to take this back to God, for some reason it gets taken away or pivoted from you. And you're like, what happened? I did everything the right way. What did you, and I always feel like you learned something from that. Like it's a lesson that it's something in that situation that had to happen for Yusuf to go from here to here. You had to learn something. Is it anything that you learned that you could share with us about that experience that you're taking with your new project?
So I'm going to say this, patience is key. Okay. Um, God is with the one who is patient. So when you try to force something and it doesn't move in the way that you want, and them forcing me to do something resulted in what it resulted in. And so patience is key. Not getting angry is another thing, because I also meditate. I do a lot of meditation and like prayer. So I don't get angry at things. I don't ask God why. I don't ask these questions. Why did this happen? I don't do that. So I sit back and I analyze and I said, okay, there's a reason why God separated me from these people. There's a reason why. So they had bad intentions. There were probably things on the back end that I didn't know anything about. I have good intentions. My heart is pure in this. I want to do something for the community, but maybe they didn't have good intentions and God was like, no, don't go with that group. They were just supposed to help you launch something, but move away and do your own thing. So after that happened, for 1 year, I didn't say a word. So I didn't share none of this stuff for 1 year. If you can only imagine, I kept that to myself, internalized everything for 1 year. Okay. And after, all of a sudden, people on Facebook started to expose this city council member for taking the $500,000. Okay. They start trashing her. They start pulling out information. So she goes into panic mode and she starts to basically talk about her initiative. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, she's exposing herself. So now everybody started to see the truth, because if I said something at the very beginning, this is where patience come in. If I said something when the time happened, the moment where it happened to me, people would have been like, oh, of course you're complaining because you're trying to get out of it. You're trying to hide something. Of course you're complaining. You're trying to protect yourself. But when I stay quiet and let God do the work, it's even better. It's even better. You'll find things that come out that you didn't even expect. Okay?
Man, that's awesome.
So now they're under some type of background investigation with the community.
And you're out of there.
And I'm out of it.
Yep. There you
Hands
go.
are clean. Wash your
Hands are clean.
hands.
Yeah, wash the hands clean.
You see? So I would have been right in that mix with them during this problem. And so I'm like, there's got to be a reason, and this is the reason. And so I took it. I didn't complain. I didn't argue. I didn't fight with these people. I didn't do anything. And I just stayed focused. I put my head down, because a pioneer is always going to be a pioneer. You're always going to find a pivot. You're always going to find another way. If you're the innovator, if you're the creator of something, you're always going to find another way to build something. People that copy you can never eclipse the creator, ever.
Right.
So
that's true.
When you build something, everything that I built, these people kept the exact same model. Okay? They didn't change anything, because you're not the originator. The originator can build something and change something on the dime, because I know how to build it. So it shows everybody who's the true person, who truly put this together. So if you're using my words, they're literally saying word for word the stuff that I typed up. They're literally saying that in interviews. They don't have anything new to say, because they have to go with whatever they paid me for, right?
Right.
They change it. So with me, it's like, listen, Yousef, you're the one that did it, dude. Don't let them get you upset. Don't get depressed over this. Build it again and build it better. And when you build it better, you're going to smother whatever it is that they're doing.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about chasing them or fighting them. Just do it better. Yep. And so that's what I've been doing.
Yep.
And that's the lesson
that
I want to tell people. God is always on your side. If you're a good person, if you have a good heart, no matter the struggle, because we're living in the environment where a lot of us minorities, we don't get the opportunity. It's very hard for us to get opportunities. And when we do, we only get one shot, and that's sad. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Mhm.
like that. You only have one
Right.
shot to get something right. And these people took that shot away from me. But I had to learn how to get back on track, pivot that information, and launch myself back into the community and show people that you don't back down from no one. No matter how big they might seem to be, you don't fear no one but God. There's nothing to fear.
That's
Amen.
And
right.
so if you have
Yeah.
something good, I promise you it's going to take off. I promise you. And like my mom always
Wow.
tells me, if God gave you something, nobody can take it away from you.
That's correct.
And
That's true.
so I know whatever God gave me, he just removed me from them. He didn't remove my project.
Hmm.
These were not the right people.
Right. If it's
That's
for
it.
you, it's for you.
It's for you.
Hmm. Man, God always has an interesting way of separating us from the or bringing or taking us out of things that we don't need to be
Correct.
involved in or part of. So man, wow,
You're
wow.
right. Yeah. I think all of us had that experience. I've had that experience
Yeah.
where it's when you're in it, it seems like your world is crumbling. What is happening? What did I do wrong? What is this? But sometimes you have to, yeah, like you guys are saying, put it in God's hand, and because there's a plan. Now, this plan is always amazing, and we don't know it's crazy. And then when you look back and you go, "Oh my, like I never would have planned that." I'm like, you're not God, buddy.
Right,
Right.
right. You're
Right.
not
Right.
right because
Right.
look, look, because one.
I'm in the middle of a project crash right now, but we got the reboot. I just got some good
Right.
news. I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
drive by the place they think we were gonna reboot to.
Wow. Well, give me like a little story. Like how did you guys deal with it? Like how did you guys internalize a situation where something was crumbling? How did you reverse that? Like what did you guys do?
Well,
So,
I
Come
I
can
on,
mean,
talk
I
Randall.
about the project that
go
I'm
ahead.
still on. It's a pretty big
Yeah, talk about that
project.
one.
um, where we had an investor. He was starting to, move us forward. We had a building. We had it all planned out, and we were working with our main on cloud vendor to get us up and running. We were supposed to open this past December, but he pulled the plug on the funds, and we had to shut down. And we didn't
Mm,
know if we were going to survive or not. But the federal government threw us a, hey, we'll give you an extension to the end of this year. And then
mm,
our ram in the bush was the Raleigh CDC here in Memphis, Tennessee. That's our ram in the bush. And I just was on a meeting before we got on this podcast about what we doing for funding and how we, and there's a building that we can use again to make this project open up again. And we're trying to open up around between August and November.
mm.
And we've been working on
Wow.
this project over 5 years.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the lesson learned, you gotta keep God and God on our side, and he showed us the ram in the bush that we kind of had it, but we couldn't see it yet.
Right. And this is the moment where you have to be a visionary. You have to see something that someone else
Hmm.
cannot see.
Hmm.
And that's the lesson. If
Yep,
you guys would ask me what was the lesson, you have to be a visionary, man.
Yeah,
Like
you do.
you
You
have
do.
to see the outcome.
Hmm. Yep. You have
Yeah.
you have to be able to zoom out
Right.
and look at the entire thing. Now, I want to pivot a little bit, if that's okay. Um, I know that you have a documentary project that you're
Yes.
working on. Can you let's talk about that. Let's hear about that. Talk about that a little bit.
So
If it's okay for you to talk about that now. If
not too much, but I will
okay.
I will share I will share information. Um, Year zero, the human rebuild or the rebirth, I should say. So let's just take this thing back. So when all of this stuff happened, okay, after dealing with this group of people, a few months later, I get another contract uh, to work on another store. So can't share what that is, but this gave me the opportunity to put my information out online, and a group from New York saw my platform, they saw my work, and they saw the things that I was trying to build, and they loved it. And these guys were basically in the film industry. They do documentaries, they do all kind of things.
Okay.
So they looked at the work and they said, listen, we could actually build a cool angle relating to human first sustainable sovereign projects that you have designed. These systems actually matter and nobody is documenting them. Nobody is really talking about it. And so the things that we have going on right now with the war that's happening, there's a lot of uncertainty for the future of our basic needs. You know, oil, gas, you name it, fertilizer, all of these things have been hit hard. And then we're living in the world of AI, where the AI is taking root, and a lot of the youth are panicking about their future. And I saw this back and forth. They're like, well, what about my position? What about my, job, my future, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not AI, is the person behind AI. If you understand how to use AI, if you understand how to utilize it,
Yes.
you'll be fine, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
I saw that people were living in the world where there was a lot of depression and a lot of suicide, if we can even say that. But mental health is extremely important. And that's why I tell people to pray, and I tell people to meditate, and I tell people to really connect themselves with God, because you don't have control over this environment. You don't have control. You're here for a purpose, and you need to understand what the purpose is and fulfill that purpose.
Yes,
Don't worry about other things that are going on. That's not in your control. And so building this narrative, I said, you know what? A lot of people are asking about their future, but we're not talking about it from a different lens, because once AI goes online completely, those same people that have a mental problem, they're going to be on the top of the list when it comes to an issue. And so I already see it. And so they wanted to see an angle to say, listen, the projects that you're developing, I think is something that we can actually turn it into a documentary. And I said, I'm down for that. Because my platform is focusing on 5 core human needs, basic needs. So we have your food, you have your water, you have your shelter, your health, and the belonging. And all you need as a human being is to cover these 5 core things. You don't need anything more than that. Okay? Once those 5 things are covered, everything else falls in line. And so I pitched that to them, and I told them, if you paid attention to what the United Nations is building, they're building a 17 sustainable goal, 2030 goal that they're trying to reach. But the 17 sustainable goal have actually hit a wall. They've only accomplished 15 to 17% of this model. And if you were to make 15% on an exam, that's a failure. That's a big fat F. And so they're not going to succeed. Their goal is 2030, and we're already in 2026. And so
Long way to go.
I already see that goal is not going to happen. And so if this is your only safety net that we've built for 2030 and we're not even going to reach it, hello, I think we need to get back to the drawing board and come up with a solution. Because if that's what we're relying on, it's not going to happen. Well, peel back the 17 and only focus on 5. You don't need anything more than that. Plus, a lot of the goals that they were trying to accomplish with the United Nations, a lot of these countries didn't have the resources to actually implement the 17th sustainable goal. So they were lagging behind. There was a lot of information, a lot of things that they didn't have access to. Pushing that narrative, I said, listen, the model that I'm building, 51% of everything that I'm designing belongs to the community. It belongs to humanity, which means I don't control it and nobody sits on the board controls it. People control it. Okay? So
Yep.
they have a voice and they control their basic needs going into their future. And then the organization, it will sunset at the 2030 goal. So we will no longer exist at 2030. Okay. And so the documentary is basically a timeline. It's like a timeline that's ticking. And
Okay.
so that's why it's like from year zero, humanity, to rebirth of humanity, right? So we're restarting what it means to be a human being. We're going all the way back. Okay. Because living in this world, you're constantly being distracted with technology, with everything around you, food, entertainment. You've lost your way as a human being. Who are you as a person? That was the first question you guys asked me. Who is Yousef Bin Ageil, right? And
Yeah.
I couldn't answer that because I want people to answer that on their own. Now, who we are as people is something that we have to come back to. We have to come back to this humanity. It's not about what you own. It's not about what you drive, what house you live in. It's about the resources that we need to have to save our future and to connect our resources and our skills and our talents in a platform where we can unite on that front. And so that was the angle we wanted to take and present that in a 5-year series where we're talking, for each series, we're talking about one of the human core elements leading into 2030 with a streaming service. So we're in talks with some people right now, kind of getting all of the people that we want to have in the documentary. Hey, it could be you guys too, but we'll have some people in there kind of talking about their background and building out on what we can actually build. It can be in the tech world. It can be all of this. How do we build something that could be cohesive and universal for all of us to kind of benefit from? So that's kind of where it was.
Man, that's awesome. That's a beautiful project. I can't wait to see what comes of it. So,
Thank you.
keep us posted for sure, for sure, for sure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that sounds cool.
Usually, what is Okay, so we've been talking about you. You got any kids? You got any kids? No kids yet?
Not married, no kids yet.
Not married, not okay.
That's probably what kept me focused.
Oh boy, see,
Yeah,
focus.
that does keep a lot of focus because, once the family
Yeah.
kick in, you lose a little
Yeah. No
focus.
Yeah,
distractions.
that's it.
No distractions.
No
Okay, I hear
distractions.
you.
Yusuf, how
I
old are
love
you
that.
now, if you don't mind us asking?
How old do you think I am?
See,
Well, you said 21 at one point, so I'm guessing, I'm gonna guess 28?
35.
35.
Okay.
there you go.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell by the maturity level.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
There's a
Exactly. Very mature.
there's a time in a man's I'm talking to men right now. So,
Yeah.
in my experience, it's a time in a man's life where it clicks, and
Yeah.
I think it
Complete.
clicks around 35,
Mm-hmm.
where you start to look back and you go, "Yeah, I'm not doing that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ready to do something else." And it'll be another click later in the 40s, but yeah, the
Correct.
Yeah.
first one is right
And
around
there's one at
35.
Around
50 that's
35.
gonna click with you
Right.
too.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 50 a whole different click.
Your bones start clicking, or what starts clicking?
Yeah, just make sure whatever you do, make sure you're locked in but prior to 50. Lock it in until you go to retirement.
Right.
If 50 the click is, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you think, I don't care. Look, this is what it is. What you
Right.
see is what you get.
Right.
Right. WYSIWYG. There you go. My favorite acronym.
So how now what are some ways that we can align tech with those 5 core needs, or are you follow? So how does tech align in with meeting those 5 basic needs, or what are ways that we use tech to push that narrative, if that
Mhm.
makes sense what I'm asking.
Well, we can focus on the grocery store element. So we have
Okay.
like our own cryptocurrency, our own blockchain that we're developing, and
Okay.
Okay.
All
it's
right.
not a typical grocery store. It's I call it a food operating system. So I developed a
Food
unique food,
OS.
yeah, a food OS. That's basically what I connected with the grocery store. So uh, it's really a store that's tailored to the people. So just like if I went to go and actually bought a suit, I would customize it. I would get my suit tailored to me. So
Yeah.
this grocery store is tailored to the community. It's a smart system. We have our AI is basically the manager, so I don't have to hire managers and certain executives. My AI basically runs the entire store. It knows how to operate. It knows what to fill. It knows what's about to expire. It basically tailors everything the store needs and it connects it to the farmer. So the farmer actually knows how much to grow and what store needs its products before that farmer actually plants a seed.
Nice. Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Right.
Okay. I can see. Okay. So you could look at what has been what has been needed
correct.
historically or whatever, and
Hmm.
so you can also anticipate that and send it out to the farmer to say, okay, to fulfill this need next year, you need to grow this
Exactly.
amount, whatever the yield is. But okay, yeah, well, we
Correct.
could do that. That
Right.
works.
Yeah,
Right.
that
So
works.
because of sustainability, water shortage, there's all kind of things. And
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
so
variables.
and there's a lot of spoilage and a lot of things just go to waste. So it's like, why don't you just tailor your farm to the store? I mean,
Yeah.
why would you put extra? Put more work on
Right.
yourself for what?
Right.
Right.
Right. Grow what's
Right.
needed. Don't
Grow
grow
what's
just to
needed.
grow.
And that's why you're in debt. And so I'm trying to eliminate the farmer's debt. I'm trying to do all of that so they can work cleanly with you with a clean slate without having
Hmm.
to pay those debts. I can just get the cost of what I want from your farm without having to pay the cost and pay your debt. I don't want double the cost.
Get what you're
Okay.
saying. Eliminate some
Right.
of that waste, and
Right.
then the
Yeah,
cost will go
exactly.
down.
Correct. So dealing with us, I help you bring that debt down. I help you sustain your farm. I help all of that. And so that's why our model stands out and it's unique in its way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So in a sense, you become, let's call it a preferred vendor, right?
mm,
Because if you work with me, I'm going to tell you exactly what I need and what I want, and your yield, your cost is going to be cheaper because I'm
correct.
going to use exactly what I want when I need it. Oh, that's pretty
Exactly.
nice.
Exactly. Correct. And then I connected with the blockchain so we know exactly where that came from. So you know the history, the birth of that plant. Where did it come from? The source, how much water did it use? Everything that you know is in this ledger that gives us the understanding of how good is the soil, what type of soil did we use? Because we're trying to regenerate the soil and bring the soil back,
Hmm.
200-300 years from today. We're trying to
Yeah.
bring that all back. So from my perspective is if we tackle the soil, for instance, instead of eating 5 carrots to get the nutrients of 5 carrots, if I change the soil and add the nutrients that the soil needs, all I need now is one of those carrots to equal 5. I don't have to eat 5
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like
So
what
now I can save on water, I can save on all of that because that one is enough for me and my family.
I
You see?
remember from I don't remember what subject it was, but I know it has to do with agriculture, where they talked about rotating crops, and some crops
Yes.
take and some crops leave, and that's
Right.
what some of the farmers are not doing and not rotating their crops.
Right. Right.
Mm. So you in a sense streamlining the entire process, and you collecting the right data points that over time debt is basically eliminated, and you putting money back into the farmer's pocket.
Win-win.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So
Yep.
that's a way
Nice.
to use technology.
Yeah.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It does. Awesome. Awesome. So now for builders, founders, technologists, that's listening today. So what do you hope that they take from your work, um, or from the lessons we talked about today, from the lessons you learned? What would you hope that someone listening today would take from that? What would you hope that their takeaway would be?
To always believe in yourself, no
Okay.
matter what. Self-belief is extremely important. Um, like I said, it's very difficult for us, especially people that look like us, to get in certain rooms.
Yeah, it
So
is.
Right.
never doubt yourself. Every room that I walk into, I know that I belong there. I never talk myself down, ever. If you've been hearing my story, I'm always like, how did I get
Yeah,
here? How did I get here? Right?
yeah.
I never talk myself down. I know how I got there, but I'm like, wow, it actually worked, right? I believe in my mission. I believe in what I'm doing so much to
Hmm.
where I don't allow anyone to tell me otherwise. So this is something I want people to really truly understand, is that you are in your own way. Okay? If
Yeah.
you have self-doubt, that is you speaking on your doubt. You're speaking to yourself, and it's very
Hmm.
dangerous. So
It is.
always tell yourself what you're capable of doing and take those skills to the next level. Always. So always pursue your ideas, always pursue your vision. Don't listen to the narrative. We only have one shot to make something work. No, you can do as many times as you want.
Yep.
As long as you're that guy that can do it, do it.
Mm.
Or
Right.
girl.
Right. 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 Exactly. Right. So, um, yeah, because what you said is very, very important, and I have pulled that from your story and heard that from your story, how you find yourself in these different places, and a lot of times, what a lot of people will do is, like you said, they will begin to talk themselves down, begin to um have that imposter syndrome, or begin to say, that I don't belong here. And because what I've been hearing is, you own the space, you own the places that you got into.
Hmm. And another thing is, I would like to add on to that. Whatever you do, please, please, please follow up. If someone gives you a number, if someone gives you an email, don't expect people to like message you, call you, email you. Like, you
Mm.
have to be the first. Every single moment you follow up. If you don't hear back in a week, follow up. Don't
Yeah,
think, well, I didn't hear nothing back in a week, maybe they don't want to work with me. No, they're probably busy. They have a
There
huge
you go.
list of things to do. So
That's correct.
always
exactly,
follow up, man.
Sounds like you have a pretty
exactly.
good network of people that you work around or work with, and I think that's an important item because, speaking back on my project real quick, when I was talking to my main mentor, he said that me and one other person was the one that brought a lot of people into our project to help us move it forward. I said, yeah, I
Yes,
have a pretty good network, so I want to bring them in. I want to
yes,
hear what you have to contribute. 'Cause everybody contribute into the network.
yes. No, I totally agree with you. And another thing to piggyback on that, when you talk about a network of people, when someone shows you who they are the first time, please believe them. Don't try to show, lie to yourself. No, they're actually good people. No, no, no. If they show you who they are, if they show up late, if they don't take care of the things that you told them to take care of at a deadline, and they come up with an excuse, you either have a side conversation with that person, or you let that person go. There's 1,000 of those people. Don't think, well, he's the only one that can do this particular job.
Right.
There's so many like that. Anytime I assemble a team, best believe I have a plan B of team, just like the team I assembled for the plan A. Okay? So if you're not working out, I got someone to replace.
Man,
Mhm.
that is
You
so key.
cannot hold yourself. Time is of the essence. You have to move fast. You can't sit around. You can't waste your time or waste other people's time. Projects
Everything
don't
is
wait.
not
Technology doesn't wait. Nothing waits on you.
Right. Everything is not to
That
be incubated. Only a few
Right.
things.
Right. And that's the thing I hate when people have ideas, they just sit on it. Like, bro, for me, if you've heard anything that I've said, any idea that I think about, I'm the type of person I have to see it in real life. I can't keep thinking about it anymore. Like thinking about it will drain me. So I have to see how it works. No matter if someone's going to mess up the project or not, I just have to see it. I have to see it.
yeah.
And most people, they're like, well, I have to get a patent first. I have to, dude, be the first to market. Just get out there.
You don't need a pad version. You
You
need,
don't
like,
need.
I'm like you, Yousef, you have to put it in play so you can
That's
see
it.
where the patent's going.
Right.
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 Look,
You just
look,
wasted 20, 30,000 on a patent, and I can just change one of your little ideas. Now I took your idea. Thank
yeah,
you.
exactly. Look, even if you don't have the full plan, if you got the first 5 steps, start walking them steps. Because one
Start
thing I've
doing
learned,
it.
exactly. Because one thing I've learned, once you start doing it, sometimes the plan begins to unfold along the way.
There you
That's
go.
Right.
true.
There you go.
That's it. That's it.
If
But
you wait for the entire thing, you're gonna be waiting.
I know.
that's the problem. Or I have people where they literally will read like 10 books before they actually make the first move. I'm like, listen, the book that you're reading is probably outdated. We have new systems, we have new approaches. That book was built in 2005, 2008. This is 2026. There's certain ways for you to move. That book is not going to help you. You learn from your mistakes as you move forward.
There you
Don't
go.
delay yourself. Do not delay. And this goes for everybody. Whatever you have, please put it out there, man. Don't doubt yourself. You have a cool idea. I want to see it.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea. That's good. That's good advice.
that's great advice. That is great advice. That is great advice. It's a use of man. We have had a wonderful time in this podcast today, and I think a great story has been told. Many great stories have been told.
For
A
sure.
lot of good information
Yep.
has been told, and I know that there's going to be a lot of value added to some people that hear this podcast. And my hope is, and one of my hopes is that even the story you told, we talk about the Store Institute and what brought you there. My hope is that this story gets spread so people can really this another avenue
Mm.
that brings out the truth. Because I know this the truth is coming out through many avenues. The truth is coming out through what you're building. The truth is coming out in your character. The truth is coming out in the continual relationships that you're forging. And this is just another avenue. The truth is coming out even in the documentary that's coming. But this is another avenue to add to the other streams that's bringing forth the truth. And so with that, there may be some people that's watching that they want to connect, they want to learn more about you, they want to get on board, whatever. Um, and I will drop information, links, whatever, in the description. But if someone wants to to get in touch with Yousef or connect, what are the ways that they can connect with you?
Yeah, you can reach me on my social media at I am Yaba. So I am YABAA. So that's on my Instagram. And then if you want to send me an email or connect that way, you can go to info@thesoilinstitute.org, and you can send me an email there, and we can chat on that part too. So um, those are the ways that you can reach out.
And that's cool.
Right.
That's
Good
cool. That's
deal.
cool.
Good
I
deal.
might have to see. We might have to talk about. I got some contacts down in South America that got farms, and they're growing cacao, vanilla, avocados,
Please do.
aguacates, all those things. So yeah,
Eh,
and they're trying to make it into the U.S. market. So yeah,
Please do.
man, that's really
Any
cool.
and anyone, and I love that so much. And anyone in tech, if you guys are building something, please reach out, man. I'm really trying to build with my people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to
Nice.
really do
Yeah.
something, and I want to show them that we can actually stick together and build something unique.
Right.
We don't have to be divided like that. You know, I like when we come together, because if we came together, this probably wouldn't happen. So,
Right.
and it
You're
was
so
sad that
right.
I had
You're
to
so
find
right.
another group outside of my group to help me. You know what I
Right.
mean? I would
Right.
rather have my
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know it.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I feel that this is like Donald's vision, you know, to have this podcast so we can bring people in to build
right,
that networks bigger.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's it. And I'll give a plug because that's gonna be a plug if the plug has not already played in this podcast.
I hope so.
On AI, I have an AI that talk
There you
about
go.
big
Okay,
voices,
yeah.
big voices, Black in Tech, the Big Voices Network. Yes,
I
sir. I
love
see
that.
you raise your hand,
Yes,
and so
I didn't get your background, so I was trying to ask that, but I didn't get all of your backgrounds. What do you guys do?
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay.
Dog, tell him what you do. Tell him, man, who you are. What
Tell
do
him,
you
man.
do?
Tell him.
What's going on?
So okay, look, this is all about you. But since you asked, because it's all about
I
you,
have to.
so look, I'm a software engineer, 20+ year vet professionally in software. Um, but I've been coding probably for 40 years because
Wow,
I started teaching myself how to code at 9 years old. At 9 years old, my dad bought a computer home. And when he bought the computer home, I was like, what this thing do? I don't want to just play games. And when there was a book with it, and it had programming. So you know what? I started doing that. I fell in love with code. I said I can make this thing do it. And so I've been doing it for 20+ years. And now I'm building this community. I'm trying to do exactly what you said, bring Black technologists, founders, builders together so that we can bring visibility to what we're doing, so that we can monetize and bring legacy and bring generational wealth to our communities, to revitalize our communities through tech. And so that's what I do.
I love it. I love it.
All right, Major,
Who am
what you
I?
do?
Who
Yes,
are
sir.
you?
Man, I'm major. You don't know me? Come on, man.
Come on, Major. Come on, Cletus. No, no,
Uses
Major.
uses I'm I'm the corporate guy. So I've been in corporate America for, I don't know, 20+ years. So I lead engineering teams. So me and Donald worked together
Yeah.
early in our career. We stayed in contact. We actually grew up really near each other, but that we ended up coming together when it was in the corporate
Had
sense. So
had the same barber.
yeah, we had the same barber and everything. So yeah. So I just think of me as I've been in corporate America. You see, if you look at my LinkedIn, you'll see all of my accolades and things like that. I'm the guy in the boardrooms talking to CEOs, things like that. So, man, I'm just, glad to be here. I mentor several guys. I'm going to say this: I mentor people around the world, literally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Get people calling me from all different countries, and we talk through different corporate situations that they're having problems with their bosses, and how do they navigate those things. So that's been a lot of the things that I've been pretty good at, and I'll tell you why. I've had a ton of terrible bosses. I had a
Mm,
ton of them, and
I
I
think we
and I
all
tell
have.
you this: the best thing about having a terrible boss is tell you what you should not do. So,
mm.
so I learned a lot from those guys, and I'm just trying to use this platform and use my the community that I'm involved with to help and share that information with people and help mentor them to get them through a lot of those trying times. Because
Wow.
yeah, Yeah, it's tough when you have to be in those situations. It's not all about sitting down and debugging code. Me and Dawn have done that tons of sitting
Hmm.
down,
All the time.
but a lot of things is, hey, I'm dealing with this
Whiteboarding
small
for
whiteboard, and we done drew all kind of stuff. A lot of times it's just like, who do I call when I can't I can't I can't communicate with this guy? I don't know what I'm trying to talk to him. I'm stressed out. What do I do in this situation? I mean, I had a guy call me. He's like, I just sent out this email. I don't know what to do. Am I gonna get fired tomorrow? I'm like, calm down. Let's go. That's me, man. That's me.
I love
That's me.
that. You seem that way. That's why I had to ask everybody. You definitely fit the corporate role. I can see it.
Yeah, me, I guess I'm the old legacy guy. I'm a big hardware person. I'm really big in hardware, firmware, and software. I'm an instructor. My middle name probably should be Jack for Jack of all trades because
Yeah,
I've
cool.
had to
yeah.
reinvent myself over these 40 years in my whole career just to keep up with everything. And people don't
Wow.
realize that you have to keep up with those things and move along.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how can I share what I know with other people. So, I started mentoring children. I'm thinking around I had to go back and think. It was like 88, 89 when I started actually mentoring children. That wasn't my platform, but I started there. But then when I found my platform is robotics. That's why I got my robotics shirt on today.
Nice.
So I've been working with robotics, going on 16 years, been coaching 11 years, and it's been a wonderful thing. Teaching them how to actually build a robot, so that's the hardware part, and then teaching them to code it to operate in competitions, and give them the coding part. 'Cause I like to work with the children that are non-sport children. 'Cause
Mm,
everybody can't play ball. Everybody not
correct.
good at playing ball.
Hmm.
More programmers and hardware people can become pros than the pros that are in sports. And hey,
Right.
I'm not against sports. I'm just saying I want the ones that not in sports, the give them something to show off.
Hmm.
Right.
I love that. I love that, man. I think we need to do something together, man. Um,
Sure enough.
if you we really have to, all of us have to sit down and have a deeper conversation.
Yeah, I
But
don't hate
I
that.
think so.
I like
yeah,
that.
Let's
yeah,
do it. Let's do it.
yes,
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
I love it,
I
man.
think yeah. I think so. And that's one of the things that I hope for, or that I'm looking for intentionally. The podcast episode is not a one off. It's not a one time. We're building a
I love it.
community. We're
Right.
building relationships.
Right.
And this does not stop here.
I
So
love it.
before you wrap it, any words of wisdom, last word, any final thoughts that you want to give before we wrap up on Yusuf?
I'm always gonna say the same thing. Always believe in God. This is your foundation. Without that, you are nothing. And so always have that hope that you can see where you're actually trying to go in your life. Surround yourself with good people that have good intentions and want the best for you as well too. So this is something that really is needed. And so for me to say, I wish everybody a beautiful success in whatever it is that we're doing and whatever it is that we're building. But for us to always be connected and to never ever ever go astray into directions that we shouldn't be in. So I thank you guys for this moment, for this time, for your energy, for your questions. But I really appreciated this moment. This is my first podcast, so I
Oh
gave
wow.
that to you.
All right.
Yeah,
Good job.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. Glad,
Thank you.
I'm
Look, he's
glad
been
that
on
we
the
can be your
news,
first.
now
Yeah.
podcast. What's next for Joseph? You got to start telling your story now, Joseph.
Right.
Joseph.
Yes.
Randall, you can't, Randall. Why
You
you
gotta
end it
pronounce
like that? Getting
his
his name
name right.
wrong.
I'm sorry. I got excited. I got
Joseph is
excited.
the English version, so you're okay.
Okay. So Randall, you're good. All right.
Okay, I got
Randall
excited
Yeah,
bilingual.
for
right.
him.
Right.
You're bilingual. All right. So listen, no, with that being said, listen, everybody continue to be notable, and black excellence and tech. So with that, we wrapping it up. So with that, we out, you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peace.